Hey, what's up? Hey, welcome back to On the Town with Tanya, where we dive deep into the minds of authors, creators, and change makers to explore the stories that inspire, uplift, and transform. Today, we are very excited to be joined by the incredible Bracha Goetz, and who is a Harvard educated author of 45, yes, I said 45 children's books and a candid memoir for adults, Nourish the Soul, filling the emptiness within. Raka has been spreading joy, wisdom, and inspiration through her unique storytelling and her latest picture book, The Happiness Box. It is a beautiful addition to her already impactful collection. Sorry. From themes of gratitude and unconditional love to messages of spirituality and positivity, Raka's writing has touched the heart across generations. In today's episode, we'll explore Braka's journey as an author, the inspiration behind her newest book, and her insights into finding joy and fulfillment. Stay tuned as we dive into the conversations about creativity, motherhood, and the power of stories to shape a brighter world. Let's get started, okay, everybody? Please welcome my guest, Braka Goetz. Hey. Hi. Welcome, welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for being a guest.
Thank you, Tanya. That was absolutely beautiful.
Oh,
I see that you're a writer. That was a really beautiful introduction. Thank you so much.
thank you. I had help with that one, but thank you. I appreciate it. So you've been writing. For, you've written 45 children's books. Woo, that's quite an achievement. Okay. So what inspired you to start writing for children, and how do you think writing for kids differs from writing for adults?
Yes, my goal was
Mhm.
to write the books I wish that I had as a child. Be-
Mm.
I went through a bunch of painful years because I just didn't understand the purpose of life.
Mhm.
So my books help children get that from the really beginning of life, and they also
Mhm.
help to instill gratitude skills early on. When a child has happiness skills, when they learn how to live a joyful life
Mhm.
early in life, then they have that the rest of their lives. It changes everything. So that's how my books are kind of unique. Every single one of my books helps souls to shine,
Mhm.
and that is by helping children to become more grateful people.
Wow, that what a powerful reason to write. Your latest book, The Happiness Box. So let me see if I can pull up that one. Okay, so I'm working on myself here, people.
Okay, here, I'll hold it up too.
Oh,
Here's
you have it,
here's
but
the happiness box.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it.
it is. I'll have to
Yes.
a bit, but it's there.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This
Yeah.
book, it was written a bunch of years ago. There
Hmm.
was a Jewish version, and
Hmm.
now we have come out with a universal version.
Fabulous.
We actually haven't even let people know about it. It just got published, so I'm on here now letting people know this is like a first because
I love it.
um,
Love it.
it's really exciting.
I know
Um,
it seems to be filled with like uplifting messages. Can you tell us what inspired the story? Is like
exactly. It's
how
been
you.
Yeah, it's been a classic like through generations, and now it's out to help everybody. I'm gonna actually I'll read to you from a part of it here. I'm reading to you the ending. This is about a boy.
Uh-huh.
He's never happy with anything he gets. You
Hmm.
know, like a lot of children, they
Hmm.
want the thing, they want it so much, and then they get it, and it just they're not excited anymore. So
Uh,
his parents, they get a new washing machine, and
hmm.
he's like, why don't I get anything ever? Nothing's for me. And
Hmm.
his father comes up with the idea to make this box that the the washing machine came into a happiness box.
Okay.
So he tells him, this is a special box. When you go inside of it, you can only think happy thoughts.
Oh
Oh
wow.
my gosh, how am I going to do that? He goes in, he's trying really hard, and then he starts being grateful for a couple of things in his life, and then it gets easier and easier, and he starts being happy about other stuff, and he keeps doing it. And then one day he goes away and he doesn't have the box with him, and he's miserable. How is he going to get happy? All of a sudden he realizes, here's the surprise ending. Okay. Yeah. So on the bus driving away, I felt as if I'd cry. How would I ever make it through without my box nearby? I felt very lonely, lost within a crowd. I needed that special box where only joy is allowed. I must have laughed right out loud the moment it was clear. The box was right there with me. There was no need to fear. The box is never far away. That box is here with me to stay. Do you know what? You've got one too. There's one for me and one for you. You're not too big. You're not too small. Step right up. Come one, come all. No one's too big to climb inside. Everyone needs a place to hide. Go right in and close the door. Think happy thoughts and nothing more. Next time you're sad, give it a try. Go get a twinkle in your eye. Where was my box? Can you guess where? Above my eyes, but below my hair. There's a happiness box in your head, you see. It's a happiness box if you let it be. But if it's hard to use your head, just get a cardboard box instead.
Wow, bravo, wow, bravo, bravo, bravo. What, how do you hope it'll impact children and their families when they're reading it together?
Exactly. This book has impacted children for generations.
Yeah.
I've heard from children that have grown up, they're adults now, how this changed their childhood. Like children that were bullied, they would go inside the happiness box. They'd actually, first of all, people after reading this book, they make their own happiness boxes. They find boxes and they create them and they practice being grateful inside the box. This is what happens. And then they just keep practicing it wherever they go, because once you get used to it,
right.
Exactly.
Right. The gratitude always becomes a thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And the more we practice it, the easier it gets. Yeah. We create neural pathways in our brains which have neuroplasticity. We can change our brains. If we do it as a child, it impacts our lives forever. But as adults, it's never too late. We can still change our brains into gratitude brains by, you know, when you go on a road that nobody has traveled on, it's very hard. You can't drive. But once you make those grooves in the road, it's not awkward. You can go through. That's how we create the pathways. Right. So the more we practice gratitude, at first it feels weird and awkward. We get used to it. It just comes much more easily, and it changes children's lives forever.
Yes, it's just practicing behaviors, teaching behaviors. I think, and it's so important to do that when they're kids. You know.
Exactly.
So
I just want to say that what we're doing is, it's a great line I heard. We're training the brain to scan for positive patterns. It's a whole training of the brain. Then we look at life in a whole different way, because I went through some really miserable years, and I had to retrain my brain to really think this way.
Yes. No, I mean, honestly, I really believe, because you're going to go through something in life anyway. That's a given. You're not here just to sit around and eat bonbons.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we'd like that to be life, but you're not. So with that being said, what else can you do? I think parents' job is to give your children tools to bypass all the things that will happen to them or possibly potentially happen to them as being human beings. Whether that's
Exactly.
losing our dog or whether that's losing a family member, whether that's a trauma we suffer, whatever
Right.
it is. And once we learn that, oh, we are not our trauma, that's just a bypass of a product of being on this unfortunate, of this crazy world. Unfortunately, it's not heaven. So what do you expect, right? Once we learn that, then everything's a piece of cake. I think you can make through anything, and literally anything. I've seen people do that because of their mind programming themselves. Very important.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
So you're
Exactly. Yes.
no, go ahead. So you're a Harvard graduate, but your focus has been writing books that inspire positivity and spiritual growth. How did your education and background shape the way you approach storytelling and life's bigger questions?
You have such great questions. I love it. So I was searching for wisdom. I
Hmm.
was searching for wisdom. What is the purpose of life? This was bothering me so much.
Hmm.
I got to such a low point in life when I didn't even want to live anymore. That's actually, where is that? That's that's the only book I wrote for adults. That's my memoir. It
Okay.
goes into, it's actually like excerpts from my diary
Hmm.
that became my journal, and I added letters and I filled in missing pieces.
Hmm.
Nourish the soul, filling the emptiness within.
Oh
I
yes,
had,
that too.
yeah,
So,
I
hmm.
had, I had like food addictions for years.
Hmm.
Thank you. I had food addictions for years,
Hmm.
and it was never enough.
Wow.
Like it gives like your bonbons. You experience the pleasure for the 2 seconds it's in your mouth,
Right.
and it's over with. That
Right.
comfort just lasts for 2 seconds,
Hmm.
and then when you finish the whole container of ice cream, or the whole box of cookies,
Yes.
or the whole bag of potato chips, you're
Hmm.
left feeling emptier than the box or the bag or the container,
Yes.
because it doesn't fill the emptiness. Why not?
No.
It's not a physical emptiness.
Right.
It's a spiritual emptiness. The
Yes.
only thing that fills it is
Hmm.
gratitude. Is that amazing? It took me years to find this out.
Yes,
But
we're all learning. I think we're all learning these things now.
exactly.
It's always been a walking, trying to figure out, okay, and we go by the last person example, grandma's example, grandma, but they didn't have some of the tools that we have. Well, they had their own set of tools that worked for them to survive the things they
Yes.
survived,
Yes.
but we've got tools to not only survive the things we survive, but also come out on top from the
Yeah.
things that we survive. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
some people survived trauma and drama or family stuff or non-family stuff or society stuff, and they just made it barely breathing, right?
Right.
It went on to the next generation and passed on. We made it barely breathing. We may be rich, we may be successful, but we're barely breathing. This generation says, I'm going to be not only just barely breathing, I'm going to be breathing, but I'm going to be thriving mentally.
Yes.
See? So we're getting the mental help. And even if we don't get the actual, like go to a therapist, we figured out other ways to process. And
Yes.
the processing comes the healing. And in the healing is when we learn the different tools that we need to do this. Like I think God, divine creator, made everything that we need to heal ourselves, but we have no clue about it. We just, I think from babies, we're just trained to go on these other modalities. And it's like, everything's within you, honey. Everything's within you. And like you have the happiness box, and you tell the kids that get this box, and then whenever you go and you can only think happy thoughts. That's something so simple that anybody can do. You know what I'm saying? I think I've seen kids, and I always ask people who've been through major trauma, how did you survive this? And it's all, if you really break it down, it's all them reconditioning their brain and,
Exactly.
and not following regular norms. Like, okay, so if this happens, then this happens. No, if this happens for me, this is what I need to do, is not only to survive, but now come out on top and thrive. That's the important part.
Exactly right. We are meant. That's the surprising thing. We were actually created
Mhm.
to enjoy this world. And
Exactly.
we've gotten so far away from that. We were
Yes.
given this incredible garden
Mhm.
to enjoy. That's the only reason we were created. We have one role. Like like we were talking about God. It's amazing. God was everything. So what's everything missing? A relationship. So there was a retraction, an illusory retraction in order to create a relationship, and that's us. All we have to do is enjoy this world in gratitude. That's our whole purpose for being here. And but we've made things so complicated.
So
Like past generations got this actually. They
complicated.
understood life in a more simple way and appreciated it.
Hmm.
And we've come to take things for granted. And the more we can get back to not taking things for granted and appreciating all the parts of our bodies that work,
Right.
all the illnesses we don't have, the
Hmm.
beautiful natural world that we live in,
Hmm.
the music, the healthy foods that were created for us with like infinite loving kindness, infinite wisdom. I
Yes.
I love to talk about the orange because it's an amazing thing. It's like, the fruit are green on the trees
Hmm.
because until they're ready for us, they're camouflaged in with the leaves.
Hmm.
And then when they're ready, they become bright and beautiful and the most vivid colors. So they're a pleasure to look at. They
Right.
smell beautiful.
Hmm.
And then they're individually packaged, and
Yes.
some come wrapped up like an orange. And
Hmm.
when you peel it, the sweet juiciness, it's kept in for months, just waiting for you to enjoy it.
Hmm.
And then when you enjoy it
Right.
and you finish, you're left with these seeds of eternity. And the seeds were designed to become more orange trees and
Right.
more oranges. So this is just one tiny gift.
Right.
Our lives are filled with an abundance of gifts,
Mm.
and our problem is that we feel there's a scarcity of pleasure in our lives. That's why overeating or
Yeah.
drugs or alcohol or gambling, whatever the addiction is,
Right.
because we have a sense of scarcity. I don't have enough pleasure in my life, so I better keep stuffing my face. And there's the thing, if we eat with gratitude, dance with gratitude, live our lives with gratitude,
Hmm.
then we're recognizing the abundance. We're recognizing that we're being loved up every moment.
Mm.
And we don't realize that. We feel a lack of compassion, a lack of love in our lives. We can open our eyes just even from an orange and begin to see the world in a whole different way.
Mm. Yes, the fruit is so important that people don't understand. They actually feed our DNA code, and we don't even know it. We have no clue. And so it's funny. The Garden of Eden. That's the one part of the Bible everybody needs to really pay attention to, because everything's right there.
Yes.
Everything we need.
Yes.
But we went so far from it that we now have chemically engineered food. We
Right.
have processed foods. We have things that don't understand our code in our bodies at all. That's why we're
Exactly.
sick. This is why we're sick. So we bring upon ourselves all these mental and all these health issues because we don't pay attention. So anyway, in the mother who always said yes, you
Ah.
explore the concept of unconditional love. Yes, oh, good, you have it. And I didn't pull up that one. The unconditional love and giving. What prompted you to write a story about the theme of a mother who always says yes, and how does that resonate with your personal philosophy of motherhood and relationships?
Okay, terrific. I was hanging out with my granddaughter about a year and a half ago, and
Mhm.
she said to me, oh, she was asking her mother for candy. Her mother
Mhm.
said no. She
Mhm.
turns to me and she goes, when I'm a mother, I'm going to always say yes. Oh my gosh. And right away, God sends me, one of those bing, that is a book. I'm going to show her what it's like if you have a mother who always says yes, no limits. You can have whatever. Okay, I got to read to you. This is a really, really unique book because in this book, the pictures are saying the opposite of what the words are saying. It's like a really interesting book, and it really affects children. They get the message right away. It's incredible. Okay, here it is. She goes, just a few more minutes, then I'll go to bed. No, I'm sorry, 1 minute. No, you already said that, my mother said. When I'm a mother, I won't say no. When I grow up, this is how it will go. When my children will ask if they can stay up more, I will simply smile and say, sure. I'll let them stay up super duper late. Wow, they'll love it. It will be great. They'll never go to bed. They will party a ton. Day after day, they'll just keep having fun. Nobody will tell them that it's time to stop. And whenever they want, they can also shop. They can buy anything that they want in a store. And whatever they like, they can always buy more. They can pick everything. I won't care at all. Why should I stop them? Let them have a ball. You can see them. Everything's going downhill. They're fighting. Everyone's miserable. They can fill up their rooms with all kinds of stuff and keep bringing more home. It's never enough. Anyway, it gets worse and worse. All kinds of things start happening. And she realizes that. And the children love the pictures because the pictures, things are getting crazier.
Who illustrated that?
Oh my gosh, she's fantastic. Her name is Leah Crone, and she's awesome. And the kids are getting sick from eating the sweets all the time. And they can bring in all the pets, which are ruining everything. They can fight with each other constantly, make a mess. It's like, and you get the picture. It becomes so dysfunctional. And the children themselves realize this fantasy is not that great. I think it's good to have limits in life, you know? Really and good. Then you can appreciate what you have.
Right. No, exactly. Wait, that one's a different one. That's the one I don't have. Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good way to teach a child. Like, here, have all you want.
Exactly. What's it like to have all the what? Oh my gosh, there was some movie like that. You see the kid? He like, what was that? Yes, that's it. Yeah, and they have to just keep
mom, and she started floating away.
Exactly.
My tummy hurts.
Oh, it was sickening to watch. You know, the kid had to just keep eating more and more chocolate cake. It was gross. It's not pleasant. So we really need to live, and for children to appreciate that. Mm-hmm. It just really gets into their head if they're shown that here is what it's like if your fantasy gets played out. It's not that good. It's not as good as you think.
Sounds like a great book. Your work often emphasizes gratitude and the power of positivity. What do you think these themes play in today's world, especially for young readers?
Exactly. That's what children need. And adults. That's the secret of children's books. Every age reads it because the youngest children are reading it. Mm-hmm. They have adults reading it to the children, and even grandparents. So older people are getting the message. Every single age level, and teenagers, they see the book lying around and they pick it up when no one's looking and they get the messages. So everybody gets the message, and children, they read books and they reread the books. So it becomes a part of them. The messages become like engraved on their soul. So that's why children's books is such a wonderful way to change our world, just to
Just to,
become a more joyful place.
it is definitely. You've certainly published like a variety of books from different age groups. So how do you adapt? How do you adapt to writing, meeting the different needs of the different age groups, and like which group is your favorite? Which age group is your favorite to write for?
Right. Truthfully, I
Mhm.
just don't write chapter books. I mean, except for my memoir, but
Right,
that was different, you know?
right, right.
It's all, it's my books. It's, even though I've written 45 books, it's not so amazing because the books are short. They
Right.
get to the point. It's not like a lot of words. I love to write things simply
Yes,
and
that's the best way.
joyfully. Yeah,
That's the best way.
exactly.
Keep it simple, and that way, especially with kids, you can't go too complicated because then it becomes a whole nother. Explain this to me. It's like you shouldn't have to do that in a children's book at all.
Exactly.
But let's see. So, oh, what God can do appears. Yeah, that's another one of your books. You got that one too. Good. All right,
Yeah.
you ready for me? Set up,
Yes.
folks. What it appears to merge spirituality with storytelling. Can you walk us through how spirituality influences your books and what
Exactly.
you hope readers take away from the themes?
That's exactly. Oh, this is illustrated so amazingly.
Hmm.
It's actually Dr. Seuss style. It's incredible. Oh
Okay,
my
let me.
gosh,
The
it,
pictures look amazing.
it's just amazing. We're
Amazing.
I'm just reading one page here at the end. We're all God's children here with one job. It's true to appreciate. Oh, what God can do. That's what this whole book is showing you. All the different ways how God is in our life in so many amazing ways. And
Oh,
the pictures are funny. So like it's not like serious, and children can get it right away. It's an amazing book.
okay.
So beautifully
The
done.
colors are amazing.
Exactly.
Yeah, the colors.
Exactly.
Hold it close to the camera for a minute. I want to see something.
Yes.
Yes,
I
it's
love it.
the
It's so
illustration is great.
awesome.
She's
Some
amazing.
pages, they're like so
She loves it.
beautiful.
Yes. Oh, Grandma said she loves it too. This is great.
Oh,
Grandma
thank
loves it.
you.
She loves it. She loves it.
Oh, thank you so much. That
Yeah.
is so lovely.
Um. So,
Yeah,
it, wow. So, in your memoir, "Nourish the Soul," you talk about filling the emptiness within. How can your journey and the lessons you learned serve as a guide for others who are seeking fulfillment, particularly
exactly.
those that like through creativity or spirituality?
Yeah. On my website, there's even a pleasure ladder. People
Okay.
can download it. It's
Oh,
supposed to be for free.
okay.
It's a chart, but
Okay.
people were hacking into the website,
Uh,
downloading it endlessly, and so now they're actually charging $1 for this chart just
okay.
because it stopped all this crazy hacking that was going on. But
Okay.
there's 5 levels of pleasure. It
Okay.
corresponds to our 5 fingers. We have the power to bring pleasure into our lives at any moment. We're
Yeah.
totally empowered to do this.
Hmm.
Again, to climb the pleasure ladder,
Hmm.
there's just one price to pay. And now you can guess what that price is.
Mm.
Gratitude. That
Gratitude.
is it.
That
Here's
is
all the
it.
natural physical pleasures.
Mhm.
Going
Wow.
up the pleasure ladder is what do you appreciate about another person? Love. We can bring love into our lives at any moment
Mm.
without anybody being with us physically present. Just
Mm.
by what do you appreciate about someone? Like even in prison,
Right.
you can picture like a grandmother that
Hmm.
did some kindness for you in the past,
Hmm.
and you're suddenly uplifted. You you get this warm emotional feeling at any point in your life
Hmm.
to bring love into your life. You could do it.
Yes.
It's not dependent on anyone else.
Yep.
Above that is doing something good and meaningful.
Mm.
Whenever we
Something.
do something good in the world, we're giving back with gratitude.
Yes.
It
Yes.
makes us so happy to give back.
I
I
teach that to foster youth all the time. Like, you know what? Don't sit in your pain. You go out and help somebody else. And because my foster mother used to tell me this: if you go help somebody else, I guarantee you, you ain't gonna have time to be sitting around what your problem is.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
That one
Exactly.
pops in, and then you say, "Oh wait, what was I worried about? I don't remember." Oh, thank you.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah, you're
someone's telling you that you look fabulous. You do.
thank you.
You look you're radiantly joyful. You look
Oh, thank
beautiful.
you. And
So
they love you too as well. So yeah,
I,
it's
I,
everything.
I was on another show
Uh-huh,
I was up to this level, and the guy said he was he was miserable and lonely sitting in his apartment. He bought a whole pie of pizza. After two slices, he was about to plow through the whole box by himself,
uh-huh,
and there was a knock on his door.
uh-huh.
And there was a knock on his door, and his neighbor needs his help for 2 minutes.
Mhm,
When he comes back from helping his friend
mhm.
or his neighbor, he doesn't need the pizza anymore. He puts it in the fridge for another day. What changed?
Wow.
What changed is that he was doing something good and meaningful, helping someone else,
Mhm.
not feeling self-centered.
Right.
Just being able to help someone fills you with gratitude. So
Yes.
that's that. And then the next to the highest level, like you mentioned, is creativity.
Yes.
When we are being creative,
Woo.
whatever we're doing, we we don't feel like eating or sleeping. It's like such a high flow state. So
Yes.
so being creative is it's just a really joyful place to be.
Yeah, and it's finding your gift, which is what I teach foster youth. I used to have a nonprofit for 12 years, but I teach people think I'm crazy, but I teach them that because if you find your gift, I guarantee you, all the other stuff gets downplayed just a little bit. It don't take away trauma, but you like even in the height of my trauma, because I had my gift, I didn't know what it was at the time, but I was doing it. Writing, writing was my thing. It does something like so I can do this, right? Interview people all day long, and I don't care if I get a dime for it. I could care less. It's nice. I want money for it, but I'm not. That's not what makes me do it. I do it because I love finding out what makes people tick, and I love that when they know what made them tick, someone's watching, and it'll make them tick. That's what it really is about. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
I get it. I totally get it. Wow.
Exactly. When we help another soul to shine,
Right.
it's fuel for our own soul.
Yes. It
We
absolutely.
just start shining too. So that's what gives us, that's what nourishes our hungry soul. Our
Mhm.
souls are genuinely hungry to
Uh-huh.
live a life of gratitude.
Oh
So
man.
when we are creative
Mhm.
and we recognize it's not about ego, it's about this creative energy is flowing through us from the creator
Mhm.
out into the world. We're just channeling that energy. It's
Yes, and
it's
it was given
endless.
to us for that very reason, I believe. It was given to us as another channel or source to alleviate all the other stuff that's going on, just like giving and gratitude is as well. When you find the
Exactly.
gratitude place, you start saying, okay, it's not me, 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 me. It's okay, what can I do for others? You have to be of
Exactly.
service, sort of. It's a catch 22. You have to be of service to others to really step out of your pain and your trauma and your drama to really wake up and say, oh, wait a minute, there's more to this. Then I can, there's different sides to it, not just one side. A lot of people, when they're depressed or sad, I just say, you know what? If you stop, if I'm sad, the first thing I do is I gather up my friends' clothes, shoes, coats, and we go and take it to the homeless on the street. Literally, I think, what block has people homeless? Okay, I know where. And even if it's 3 items, I guarantee you, by the time you get there and when you get their response, you automatically have forgotten what you were so depressed about.
Exactly.
You have to take
Exactly.
yourself out of yourself for a minute.
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
when we're in addiction,
Mhm.
we're feeling alienated, estrangement, disconnection. This is what brings connection.
Yes.
That's what we need to feel connected. Exactly. When we're giving on this middle level,
Mhm.
the difference between creativity and meaning is
Mhm.
that with creativity, it's a unique part of yourself that you're giving.
Mm.
And when you are doing that, it's like such a high,
Yes. It
and
is. It is.
it's
It really is.
exactly.
I cannot even express it. Actually, I would see it sometimes. My board members and some of the volunteers in my town, I live in Westchester County, would volunteer and help us pack the gift boxes for the aged out foster youth. I would give them scholarships and stuff for in the college dorms, because I was a foster kid in college, and I was like, everybody was getting all the stuff, and I was like, I don't have none of that. And so I said I would try to help others. So that's what I did. That's why I started it, to honor my brother who passed away. And so when the day of packing was the day of, we call it good reckoning, because I'd be in the room and I'd be watching, and the volunteer, everyone's like Santa Claus, little Santa Claus. They're like, okay, well, we have to give someone Mary 6 pair of socks because she doesn't have, anybody else in the dorm with her. And oh no, this one has her own apartment. We have to give her this little stove, not stove, but whatever, iron or whatever come up. And you would see people's energies just go crazy. It was just I felt like I was really in Santa Claus workshop. If there's such a thing as Santa Claus, we know they're not, but you know what I mean. That's the feeling you feel like we're giving something to someone, and
Yes.
someone that needs it. And even if, some kids, they're like, okay, that's cute, whatever, and that's okay. But there's some who are like, thanks, I really just needed this hot cocoa because I couldn't make any, just something. I needed these socks, but I couldn't really. It was deciding between $6 socks or $6 to get to class, or those little things. The face on the volunteers is just amazing. And then the kids, once you see that, you're just like, what problems did I have?
Yes.
What was I was talking about? What? It's like you can't even wallow in yourself, because you have to, you see the gift once you're giving.
Yes.
The gratitude comes through, and it's just it's contagious, by the way.
Contagious.
My volunteers, I love them so much. My board members, oh my God, they were just, my town, Mount Kisco, Chappaqua, Bedford, they were just amazing. The people that live there were amazing. They are givers, and that's how you get to your joy, is by giving and helping others, right? Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Somebody wrote in here, her gift is being a foster mom.
Yes, grandma. She was a great foster mom. Oh my God.
Ah,
She was so amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
beautiful.
Yeah, she would
That's
help
it.
kids.
Beautiful.
It's just when you see the kids grow up and they're doing well, better than the society said they would ever do. You know what I'm saying? Especially her, she had kids that were supposed to be, no, they're not gonna do this, and she was like, that devil's a liar, you know. And so it's like my mom got me at 7. They were like, she's not gonna do this, she's not gonna do that, she's not gonna do this. They gave me all kind of labels. I mean, foster care, they kind of did us dirty, as I say, but she was determined. My mother was like, nope, we're not having none of it. And she was the one that installed in me very young, I don't care about what your problem is. You go out and help somebody.
Ah,
Then you come back and tell me about your problem. And she'd be like, so what was your problem? I don't remember. Right?
wow.
Like, oh, okay. And so with my kids, when they were little, we would go and feed the homeless after Thanksgiving or for those Christmas, those days, those holidays. And I say, it's not my birthday. If it's allegedly Jesus' birthday or whoever's birthday, then why am I getting a gift? That doesn't make sense. So yeah, I would take your gift if you give me one, but that wasn't my thing. And I wanted my kids to be like, okay, so it's about giving, not getting. And so I would make a nice meal and then go down to Manhattan and, give out, even if it's 10 plates to people that were sitting on the grades when it's cold, whatever I got to do. Cause that showed them it's about giving. It's not about you. Nothing's ever about you, really, at the end of the day. I mean, it is to the degree that you're here for a personalized experience.
Yes.
aka by the
Yes.
way, God, yes. So with that being said, and you're here also to contribute to
Right.
someone else's,
Right.
what do you call it? Fulfillment, right? So
Right.
I may meet you when you were at your lowest and may inspire you to say, I'm not going to do that to myself. There's no way.
Exactly.
I won't allow anybody else to do it because this person over here showed me my light, right?
Yes.
We all do interact. I'm not saying that, but overall, it's really about once you start getting out there and giving and experiencing other people's things and how you can help and be a solution instead of a problem.
Yes.
Man, this world would fly. This
Yes.
world would
And
fly.
that's when it becomes a garden again.
Yes.
That's when the whole world, it
Yes.
stops being gray. The
Mhm.
colors become vivid and beautiful, and you see how beautiful the world can be. It
Yes.
changes everything.
It does. It does. It's amazing. As a successful author, how do you balance your personal life with your writing career? Like, do you have any daily practices or rituals that help keep you grounded and
Ah,
inspired?
Well, okay. I mean, my career was I was running a Big Brother, Big Sister program for
Oh,
years.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And this is more like a hobby. This is what I do. It just gives me joy, and the energy, the creativity flows,
Hmm.
and I just love doing it. So it's not like a money making thing for me at all.
Right.
It's because I love to do it. Like, like,
That's it. Love is everything to the want and the finding what your gift is and what your purpose is in that gift to help others is where the magic is.
yes. And everybody that's alive right now,
Hmm?
if we're alive, we have reasons
Woo!
for being here. Many,
Preach,
many reasons.
preach,
Yes,
Bobby. Preach, because that's what my mother used to say. As long as you
yes,
are breathing, you have divine purpose. And that's why I
exactly.
tell people, even people that are depressed, even people that are off the sightable, instead of saying the word, you know what? I won't say that word. People that think about not being here, okay? Just you have to think, you know what? I have some purpose here. You're breathing. Like and you don't have to stop yourself from breathing because guess what? When it's your time, you going, right? But it's not your time. So why would you do that to yourself? And then we're going to be at the disadvantage because you might have saved three other lives just being you.
Yes. But many people have not learned what you were given. You were
Yes.
given this by some really good mentors in life. That's what we need to. This is the wisdom of life that
Mhm.
every child needs to
Yes.
know.
Yes. And that's why
Um,
your books are great.
that it's just so essential. um, yeah.
Yeah, no,
I,
your
I
books are
just
great for
feel,
this reason because this is where it starts. It's mind, and I hate to say mind programming but everything technically is in a way. Anything in media or TV, books, it technically is anyway. But you need to start good mind programming very young for
yes,
so that the trip system is there very
yes,
early. You see,
yes,
so for me at 7 years old, you couldn't bully me. You could
yes,
try to. You could ignore me or you could talk about me. You could do that, but you couldn't really bully me because my
right.
mom and my dad put something in my head very early. So even with trauma going on, other stuff going on in my life, you're not gonna do that to me because I
Wow.
was told by two people that constantly told me good things, and I listened to that, and it stayed here. So you couldn't reprogram me. Like even
Right.
now, I'm stubborn to a fault. Actually,
Amazing.
it's not really good, Bracha. It's not good. But you can if you start very young. And I was a foster kid. You would think. I mean, in an orphanage, group home, whatever they call it when you're younger. I don't think they call it that. It's not a group home, but it's a bunch of kids, thousands of kids running around. I call it orphanage. And I didn't have parents. My parents were one died later, but they weren't around. They weren't active at all. So that to me is still classified, aka orphan. Some people have different terms. They're dead. And it's like, no, they can be alive and never have talked to you. So, you know, go figure. But whatever it is, you would think that I'd be like, okay, no, because very much so my mom, my forever mom got me. She was like, okay, this is how we're doing this.
Wow.
And she was very forward thinking woman, thought like a man in a lot of ways. So a lot of people don't like that about me because even as a kid, I don't think like regular kids think and it's good. And that's what we need kids to be standing there in their power very young.
Yes.
Very young. We need them to stand. Yes, you are fine as you are. You don't need to change your hair. You don't need to change your lips and your body. You don't need to do all this extra stuff. And so what? If you're not an A student, maybe you are a C plus, but you'll be the best C plus ever. I mean,
Wow.
we need to put those lessons in the head so that they stand in whatever it is. If you stand in your stuff, you're gonna win always, always. And kids have to know that. And that's
Right.
why that's why when I found you, I was excited because I was like, yeah, we need more people to do things with like I think Tony Robbins and like which I'm a speaker too, so I like to go into places too. But I'm just gonna give you the big picture. If for Tony Robbins and what's the other guy's name? Dean Gracioso and all the big speakers was to go in to every foster care agency and have a big arena with all the kids at like 7 years old. How much you want to bet they turn out different?
Beautiful.
I would bet you they
Beautiful,
turn out different.
Tanya.
Yeah, they would, and I was trying to do that. Be a bunch of us former fosters were trying to be the speakers, but they just never. seem to catch on, because I honestly don't think they want them to do that, because then they won't make money, because these kids will figure out very early. And when they age out at 18,
Wow.
instead of like me having to sign myself back in because I realized I have no support system, and that I'm going to have to figure out college. And the only way to do that was to go back in. And so, they don't technically finance, especially now they're privatizing foster care. They don't want them to figure it out. Is my new theory is, sorry, they
Wow.
sounds good, but they don't want them, because you know how much money they're going to lose if these kids are out there getting it at 16
Whoa.
instead of doing drive-bys and doing whatever drug, selling and all that.
Yes.
If they was to get it together, do you know what that would do? That would kill their whole profits and their whole stock options, or what they invest in. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? So
my.
Wessons and all those things. You get where I'm going. So
This
that's
is
why I don't. But I teach
wow.
kids. I teach them outside of the agency. This is how you have to do it. You have
Wow.
to be yourself, and you have to stand in your purpose and be 100% about it. Like, don't let anybody let you off the game. Sure, there's times you're not sure if this is going to work. You know how many times I think, I wonder if that's going to work. Maybe not. But you have to stand in it. And as a kid, you have to stand in it. There's no more of this, wait till you're adult. If you got two strong parents, okay, you're blessed. You can do that. You got time to mess around and figure it out. But when you're in a foster home and you're in an orphan, or you're in a group home, or you're living in a place with nuns, you better figure it out fast.
Wow.
And this type of thinking, your books, that type of thinking is how you succeed. I know it because I've seen the people who have succeeded, and they followed the same code that I did. And I got it from somebody else. It's not Tanya's thing. I got it from watching other people who were great. And Tony Robbins is one who's always been very inspiring. And I thank my cousin Eddie to this day. Everett, thank you for giving me that book. I think it was him that gave me that book. I don't even know, like 17 years ago. I don't know how long it's been. Maybe longer than that. It has to be, because my kids were little. So yeah, 30 years ago. Whenever Tony Robinson came out as the big guy, that's about when he gave me that book. So it's something that I'm very passionate about. Children finding their purpose very early, because you will be shaken off your path. And so with that being said, okay, shake me off, and I know things are going to happen. But even with them happening, you're not going to stop me. There's no way. There's nothing.
Right.
If I'm breathing, you can't stop me. That's the catch, right?
I'm so happy to know you, Tanya.
I'm happy to know you too.
Awesome. Awesome.
So your books are published through Growing Impact Publications. Can you tell us more about the vision behind this company and how it supports your mission as an author?
Yeah, with my 40th book, my children said, stop sending your book out to publishers. Mm-hmm. We want to publish your books now. We're going to become a publishing company. So my youngest children are Growing Impact Publications, and they created the website, and they are the ones now publishing my book. So it's a family thing, and it's beautiful.
Well, yeah. I might have a book coming up for children, and it's for children too. So I'll get it together. But
wonderful.
Yeah, that is amazing. That is amazing. So your family got into it, and that's nothing better than keeping it in the family.
Thank God.
Yes. So you've had such an impressive career as an author. Looking back, what advice would you give your younger self just starting out in the literary world?
I'll tell you what I tell other people. I say to people, it takes 20 years and 20 minutes to write a children's picture book, because I meet people that say, oh, I have a children's book in me. It's been in my head for years. And I say to them, you've been carrying it around for 20 years. Just take 20 minutes and scribble it down on paper. Get it, or on your computer, just write a first draft in 20 minutes. And to go for it. Now people can self-publish books too. They don't have to have them accepted by a traditional publisher. So there's so many routes to just get the book out of your head and out into the world. I just encourage everybody to just fulfill their dreams, Let that creativity flow through you. When we talk about brainstorming ideas, to me, I get an idea. It's God sending down the drops. I just have to collect them and
Mhm.
put them on the page. I collect all the raindrops that God is sending down, and out come the books. So anyone that wants to can enjoy publishing books. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's amazing. Publishing, yeah, publishing. That's a big thing right now. So thank you for sharing that, and hopefully someone that's writing. I know so many writers. I'm like, just do it, just finish it, and I'm speaking to the preachers of the choir as well. But it's amazing. So many have so many great stories, and they need to be told. They need to be heard. So that's good. Um, so looking forward, what exciting projects or new books can your readers expect from you in the future? Like, are
The,
any
the
themes or ideas particularly passionate about exploring?
Right. Well, all these books that I just showed you are brand new books that
Oh,
nobody even knows about yet. So they
really?
yeah, they just came out. They're just now in my children's house, and we haven't publicized them yet at all. So they're brand new. And not only that, but they also make audiobooks out of them, and they make animations. My children, my daughter-in-law was a preschool teacher, and my son is a first grade teacher. So they're
Mhm.
very much involved with young children, and they love getting into the minds and helping children too. So that's how these books are coming out. I actually have books also about the prevention of abuse. I have books about teaching children about disabilities,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
there's so many ways that we
Mm,
can help children's souls to shine more fully and live more grateful lives. And
mm,
and so that's what I'm doing. And even one of my books is Let's Stay Healthy, like we were talking about.
mhm,
Like all the natural foods were made with infinite loving kindness, infinite wisdom. And then you have like an orange flavored tangy taffy,
mhm.
which is just made with greed. Even the wrapper, it pollutes the environment, while this orange, the
Uh-huh.
wrapper, when the peel disintegrates in the soil, it helps the soil.
Yes.
This is made like totally to love us up.
Right.
And the junk food is not made with that kind of infinite loving kindness. So I love explaining that to children. That's my background, is in public health.
Okay.
So I I
Okay.
explain I explain all these kind of concepts to children in a simple way.
Right.
Why exercise is important, why eating healthy food is important, and even why sleep is important. So children can understand why it's good to go to sleep at a good time at night. I love explaining this in a joyful way.
That's fabulous. That is fantastic. Yeah, my grandma was like, we have to get one for my grandson. So great grandma was
Oh,
like, we got to get one for Cal. He's 4, but he loves
oh,
books. He's into the Spider-Man series.
wonderful. I tell people, if you have too many books and you don't want to buy more books
Uh-huh.
and you don't have money to buy more books, you don't have to buy my books. You get the public library to order the
Oh,
books.
oh,
And
that's
then it's helped spread these messages all
oh,
around the world. That's what I do.
love
I,
it.
I just love spreading these messages. Really, hundreds of
Love
thousands of these books have been sold, and it changes people's lives.
it. Hmm.
But you don't have to buy them. You just tell your library, I want the books, and they get them, and the books are available to everybody.
That is amazing. That absolutely is amazing. And I forgot about that little trick. I did that when I published a book for kids, Surviving Foster Care and Making It Work for You. I wrote it for foster youth. But that was one of my tricks is go to the library and get it if you can't afford it. It's okay. It's not,
Exactly.
that's a great idea. Thank you for that. Wow, Bracha. Let's see. So what a truly inspiring conversation with you. Wow. Your insights of joy, storytelling, and the importance of nurturing both sides of our minds and our spirits, they are sure to resonate with anyone who's looking for more positivity in their lives. So, guys, if you haven't already, um, be sure to check out her latest book. And let me see if I can pull it up again. Wait, where's it at? The Happiness Box. There it
Yeah,
is. Okay.
really brand new. Just came out. And
Yes.
I mean, it came out many years ago, but the new version just came out now.
Yeah.
So I'm really happy about it. And I can't begin to tell you how you inspire me, Tanya. You are such an inspiration of
Uh,
how you can go through a lot of trauma,
mhm.
even whatever, neglect, abuse. I mean, and you can come out to be such a shining soul,
Oh, thank you.
helping so many other people.
Thank you.
So
You know
it's an
who else inspired me? Well, a couple of people. Not only but ancestors who were enslaved, but Eli Weiss. I read his book, and oh my gosh, that was another book. That was another turning point. Like there's many stories, slave stories, and some slave story I read of the girl writing like a diary, sort of like Anne Frank, but it was a slave.
Anne
And I
Frank,
was like,
yeah.
oh my God, what am I complaining about here?
Uh,
Like I've got nothing on this situation here at all. And
wow.
is even though I was young, I understood early that I have to carry the torch because there's people who are not here to carry it anymore. And if I just say, "Oh, I'm just not going to do it," I don't, oh, poor me. I grew up in foster care. Oh my God, I was an orphan. Oh my God, I mean, like all those, violin players, I call them. I just don't have time for it. I don't play the violin.
Wow.
I try to get up every day with gratitude in my life. And even though I happen to be a Debbie Downer in a lot of ways, but not Debbie Downer, but Debbie Downer in the way that I will make the apocalypse pleasant for you because I know a lot of things that you probably didn't know that I stored for you. So in that way, so that is a side mechanism that happened, but I'm aware of it and I keep it in check. I use it in comedy now, actually. But you have to take whatever you're given and like make it and no one I don't ever want anybody to feel sorry for me ever. Like that's not my goal. I'm just like, you feel sorry for me, I don't feel sorry for me. I'm mentally here.
Amazing.
Yeah, I've survived more than people will ever imagine. And there's people who've been through way less with a lot more money and a lot more resources, and they can't even get it together. So you know what I'm saying? Like you have to take
Absolutely.
every moment of gratitude and think, okay, so if I made it and I'm breathing, clearly there's something left for me to do. Clearly,
Yes,
yeah. You don't have to
exactly.
guess. You don't even have to guess it. You're still here. There's something for you to do. We just got to figure out what it is. That's it. You know.
Exactly. And until you know, until and don't worry about it. If you can't figure it out, just
Hmm.
spend your time being grateful.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. If you stay
It's
in gratitude, man, things
exactly.
happen for you. You got to, I mean, even learning to walk in nature and just
Yes.
listen to the water as I walk
Yeah.
by the water in the morning. I love that. That is my thing. Like, just give me a
Beautiful.
mountain or give me a lake and I'm happy. It's like, I'm like, yay, because I don't need anything else. And I'm a Quaker. And so when I listen to
Wow.
silence for 45 minutes, because I talk a lot, as you can see, I talk a lot as a comedian, as as someone orator, inquirer. I just talk a lot. I'm always talking, and so I have to learn to sit every Sunday, 45 minutes, and focus
Wow.
because I have to listen to what the universe is telling me.
Beautiful.
So I can bring my gratitude out and keep it. And
Yes.
yeah, yeah. I don't even allow myself to get to a down state. It's very rare. It has happened, but it's so rare if I
Right.
get to, oh my God, woe is me. I don't even get to the woe. I don't get to the woe is me. Never. That's just that's out of my reach now. I can't even get. If I want to sit and be depressed, I can't. It's like I can't even do it because ancestors of all kinds have done so much with so little and survived. I mean, just think about all the atrocities that's happened in the world to many cultures, and you just have to say, well, dang, we at least we our babies not getting eaten by alligators. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, they no longer have the signs saying blacks and whites only, right?
Yes.
So many little elements. I'm like, how did they survive these little minefields, right? During Jim Crow, like, how did they survive the Holocaust? How did they survive? How did they
Exactly.
survive the potato famine, right? The
Right.
Spanish flu, even. Like, how did they do this? So when you think of that, young people, that's what you think of instead of thinking of, well, me, I'm going through this right now. Yes, it's traumatic. Yes, it's trauma, but you can get, if you're alive and breathing, you can get through it. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. You can. I've got stories. Matter of fact, I should probably write a book about it. If I told you every story about every trauma people have experienced. You'd be like, what? And they survive mentally too? No way. Without 10 personalities, how do they do that? It's possible because they took themselves out of their selves and said, oh, wait a minute. Okay, this is happening. It's real. I'm going to get through this because everything passes, right? Nothing stays the same forever. Nothing. Nothing. You could be, if you're living in a basement for 20 years, eventually that's going to change in somehow or another. That situation will change. It's by the grace of God, by earth, flood, or whatever. It's going to change at some point, right? So you just have to hold out long enough. And the way you hold out is you mentally keep gratitude in your heart. I'm alive. I'm breathing. My mind's here. Okay. I got the most important functions I need to go to the next step. That's it. That's how you start. Sophia, what'd you say? Oh, I agree with you. I don't want people to feel pity or sorry for me, which is why I don't share certain stories or experiences. By the time I've worked through them, I've already moving forward, and even retelling the stories seem like it could take me back to a low place. Yeah, for some people retelling them do. That's true. It does. For me, it doesn't. It doesn't take me back at all. I don't have no. I can do jokes about the trauma that's happened to me at this stage. 30 years of therapy, please, and minored in therapy. I mean, minored in psychology. There's nothing. I've reworked all of my trauma and overworked it, underworked it. It's that's where you have to get to. You have to know all your trauma, put it out on the table, not hide it, not put it away until you've processed all of it. Once you processed all of it, all the elements, okay, how did I feel? What could I have done different? No, there's nothing I could have did different. It was them, not me, or whatever it is. It could be anything. You have to put everything on the table, and the table's going to look messy. I will say that it's going to be like, dang, all that goes over there. What is it? I don't even know what this is. At some point, you might be like overwhelmed with how much is on the table, but you got to put it all on the table, every piece of it. What role did my family play? What role did life play? What lessons was I supposed to get out of this? What lessons did I? Everything. When you process all of that, you can now pack it in your Louis Vuitton suitcase and put it away until you're ready to pull it out. That's why I don't get triggered by telling my stories. People don't understand. I don't get triggered at all by telling. There's only a couple things. If I'm in the company of my abuser, I might mentally go back. But that's because I become, you don't want to know, I become a little bit revengeful, let's just say, in my head. That's all. I wouldn't do it, but in my head, that's the only time that I may revert back to, I wish I could do something about this, because I can now, right? That's the only time. Other than that, I have no, some people say, oh, I can't tell. That's fine. You don't have to retell your story. I don't have to tell, I can tell mine 500 times. I have to, because also I do speaking, motivational speaking. How am I going to speak? If you're not real with the people you're speaking to, then you're false and you shouldn't be speaking, in my opinion. That's my opinion. I would not want a speaker speaking to me that is not sharing their truth. That's just, now maybe some people say, oh no, I had one place that said, well, we didn't expect you to tell the whole story. Why not? Why would I tell you half the story? That don't make sense. Because one group that knows when you're lying is kids. They know, especially teenagers. Oh, they sniff you out in 5 seconds. And if they think that you are misguiding them or candy coating or hoodie footing around the truth, they will have no respect for you at all. And you'll never get it back. You'll never get it back. So it's better to tell it than for them, especially if they can Google something and find out, like your book or something. It's like, so you just messed up. This is a word of advice to any speakers. If you can't tell your truth, don't even speak. Whether that's about addiction, whether it's about abuse, whether it's about starting a new company, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what. If you can't tell the truth, there's no point. I wouldn't want to hear from you. That's just me personally. I don't like people that candy coat stuff too much. Even if in the world of, don't say that word or don't say that word. Why not? Because now all you're doing is teaching children to lightfoot around the word. So now they might become a victim because you don't like for so much. It made it so like nonchalant that they might be like, oh, that's nonchalant. You know what I'm saying? You have to sometimes tell the truth, and it hurts, right? But you have to, it's clever. It's clever orality, I call it, but you got to do it. So everybody's different, but I don't know. Anyway, so make sure you guys get the Happiness Box, as well as her other works. that bring light to children and adults alike. A big, 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 big thank you to Bracha for sharing your wisdom with us today. And guys, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. You can also find more information about her book on the website below there, as you can see. What's that? Oh, sorry, I couldn't even say the word. Yes. You see what I'm saying? Yes, exactly. She called herself the sexuality queen and couldn't call us, like she referred to as private matters. Yeah, that's weird. That's just weird. I would turn off immediately. That's like if a preacher gets up and starts preaching about something, and I know personally that they don't do it, I'm like, next. I wouldn't even want to hear. I'll walk out of the sermon. I don't want to hear what you got to say. There's nothing you can say to make me have respect for you. If I know you're drinking and fornicating, like, what? Why would I do that? You know what I'm saying? Just like I wouldn't. I mean, everybody has their thing. I'm a kid. I'm the type of kid that will watch you and say, "Oh, look at Bracha. Okay, she's writing these books. She really believes in these books because she's helping other kids." That's me. I would be watching what you do. So if you write these books and you're over there, you know, knocking the kids out, I'd be like, Bracha, what are you doing? In my head, I'd be like, wait a minute, that doesn't add up. So kids watch you. They watch everything you do, and teenagers especially. They will be the first to throw it in your face. Yeah, Mr. Cooper, I saw you doing such. If you did something. So you have to be careful how you walk. If you're going to speak or write books or, any of that, you have to live you have to live what you're talking about. You have to be able to be confident in it to say, I believe in this. This is what I stand strong in this. Not off the fence and on the fence, and doing other things and not that what you said you're doing. So. That's just me. I mean, yes, exactly. You didn't tell me what. See, yeah, most people would. Yeah, exactly, Sophia. That's what most people. You lose people by lying or not lying. What's the word? Is it candy coating?
Being
Candy
fake. Being fake.
coating? Not even being fake. I think it's
No.
So they used to call it pussyfooting around the subject. I don't like the word. Candy coating, or I don't know. There's another word for it, but whatever it is, people know. They know. I've had a guest on my show once. It's only happened one time, years ago, and she didn't tell her whole story, and people knew from the media the story, and I never told her. But I was like, "Girl, you just lost the whole group of audience." So when she does her movie, I'm like, "That ain't gonna be good," because they're gonna be like, "She didn't even tell it." She's, you cover up for people. They know it. People know it. They know it. And you can't, sometimes you got to put your truth out there, even if it hurts, even if it hurts, or don't say it at all. Just don't say it. That's me. I have Age of Honesty. I've been doing this, my latest book. Yes. Age of Honesty. It definitely is. So yeah, you guys can find her book at the website, growingimpactpublications.com. It's on the bottom there. And so, wow, Bracha, can you believe our time is up? Wow, I can't believe this. It's just crazy. So you guys, I appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, oh, by the way, thank you for all my new followers. I see you guys out there, my old followers who are loyal like you guys that are there. I appreciate you. I like to tell you, where there's a few, there's many. I don't care about numbers. And people say, yes, you have to care about numbers. Okay, I care about numbers because then that means maybe more people that was thinking about offering themselves are watching and they won't. That's how I care about people. I don't care about numbers. So if it's 5,000 people watching that I saved their life, or they saved their life, or they were inspired by Bracha, okay, now we're talking numbers. But I don't care about, I had someone once ask me, what's your numbers for me to be on your show? I need to know how many you have. And I was like, honey, apparently I don't have enough for you, because I wouldn't even tell you what the number was. I didn't even bother with it. Now she's trying to be my best friend. Ironically, right? But I was like, nope, you go over there and you worry about your numbers. Keep worrying about your numbers. You're going to play a hard game, girl. I'm here for the long haul. I'm not here for the short haul. So I don't care. But I've been doing interviews for 28 years.
Wow.
And nothing will stop that, including if I get off social media, I'll figure out another way, like I used to in person, So I'm not worried about that. I really love helping people. And I believe the only way to do that is standing in your truth and bringing people on who is truth is possible, and have gifts, and they're sharing their gifts and their talents. You know what I'm saying? Like, God put that on your heart to write these books. You know what I'm saying? You didn't just wake up and say, I'm going to write these books and I'm just going to write random books about anything. No, that's not how it works. Something inspired you, something moved you to do that. And so with that being said, someone is going to be moved and inspired and motivated and say, you know what, maybe I need to write children's books. Or they might say, you know what am I complaining about? Bracha said, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do this. You know, that's what this is about. That's what On the Town is about. We don't care about all the other stuff. You know, it's not, I pay attention to people who inspire and motivate. Anybody else is just a joke for me. Anybody else. I don't really care about what anybody else is saying because life is so hard right now. People are trying to grab this ladder to get out of this little pitfall that they keep trying to make us get into. And if you're not grabbing that ladder, guess what? You're going down the river, buddy.
Yes. Grab onto the ladder of gratitude. Grab on. Because all day long, there is an inner critic telling us, you're missing this, you're lacking that. Focus on what you're lacking. We have to fight that. We fight it like this, we're pushing off that weight. And every time we push it off and say, no, I'm going to focus on what I already have in my life right now. That's how we grow our gratitude muscles. Pushing off that voice, the inner critic from our childhood that says, focus on what you're missing. Focus on what you're lacking. If you only had that, you'd be happy. Instead, focus on what you already have. And suddenly you're rich.
Yes, that's it. So you heard it from Bracha. And guys, until next time, I hope you stay inspired, stay joyful, and remember to keep nourishing your soul. Bracha, hang out with me for a minute as I say goodbye to everybody. I will see you guys next week. All right, here you go.